Once again, welcome to KHE313 Skills Development and Techniques in Sports and Games 5. High jump, hurdles, badminton, and volleyball is a 2-unit course. My name is your facilitator, as my name is Professor Neba Tanglan, and I'll be taking you in this course. We're going to start with, these are the contents of what we are going to look at this afternoon or this evening. We are going to look at the introduction. We will look at the intended learning outcomes. And then the main content for today is history of high jump, the major development in high jump, best high jump nations. We'll now conclude. So we are going to start. These are the things that is expected of you at the end of this course. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to narrate the history of the high jump, discuss major developments in the high jump, and then mention 5 best nations in high jump. Introduction, we'll look at the brief, just some briefs on high jump as an athletic event. And then we'll also look at the connection to survival activities in history. First is the brief about the high jump as an athletic event. High jump is a captivating and challenging athletic event that involves athletes attempting to leap over a horizontal bar set at measured heights without dislodging it. Those who compete in high jump, they show their agility, their strength, technique as they aim to clear the bar successfully. This is a field discipline which has a rich history and has evolved significantly over the years. In high jump, the athletes use various techniques to clear the bar, and the event has witnessed a fascinating progression of styles. Early techniques included the elaborate straight-on approach and the scissors technique. The evolution continued with the Eastern cutoff, Western roll, and eventually the groundbreaking Frostbury flop. The choice of technique often depends on biomechanical advantages and their athletes' personal preference. High jump competitions are commonly held at the World Championships in Athletics and the International Athletic Association Federation World Indoor Championships, attracting top athletes from around the globe. The event has gained popularity not only for its competitive nature, but also for the sheer spectacle of athletes defying gravity to achieve remarkable heights. Let's look at the connection of high jump to survival activities in history. The roots of the high jump can be traced back to activities related to human survival. We have jumping over obstacles or across distances has been an integral part of human history, serving practical purposes in various survival situations. Early humans likely engaged in jumping as a means to navigate challenging terrains, to evade predators, or to surmount obstacles. While the modern high jump may seem worlds apart from these survival activities, the fundamental human ability to jump has been present throughout history. The instinctive act of jumping, honed for survival, evolved into a structured and competitive athletic event. The historical connection highlights the continuity of certain physical skills and movements from primitive survival instincts to organized sport. In essence, The high jump's journey from a basic survival activity to a refined and technical sport showcases the evolution of human physical prowess and the transformation of innate abilities into specialized athletic skills. This historical context adds depth and intrigue to the narrative of the high jump as more than just a sport, but a reflection of our ancestral capabilities. We'll look at the brief of the early jumping history. Jumping as a fundamental human movement has deep roots in history and has played a crucial role in various cultures and activities. While early jumping activities were primarily driven by practical necessities, they laid the foundation for the development of organized sport, including the high jump. Here is an overview of the early jumping history. Number one, the primitive necessities. Survival skills. Early humans likely engaged in jumping as a fundamental survival skill, negotiating uneven terrains, crossing obstacles, and escaping threats required the ability to jump effectively. Hunting and gathering. Jumping could have been employed during hunting and gathering activities. Leaping over obstacles or across distances might have been essential for successful hunting or escaping predators. 2, rituals and ceremonies. Cultural significance. In various ancient cultures, jumping found its way into rituals, ceremonies, and religious practices. Jumping often symbolizes strength, agility, and the ability to overcome challenges. Celebratory jumps. Festive occasions and celebrations frequently involve jumping as a form of expression and jubilation. These ceremonial jumps could be traced back to traditions in diverse societies. 3, folk games and competitions. We have informal contests. Early communities likely engage in informal jumping contests where individuals showcase their jumping abilities. These contests may have been part of local festivities or gatherings. Now, cultural variations. Different cultures might have had their own variations of jumping games, contributing to the diversity of early athletics. We continue with our early jumping history. Number 4, emergence of structured games. We have ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, the birthplace of the Olympic Games, various athletic events, including jumping, gained structure and recognition. The long jump, for instance, was part of the ancient Olympic Games. We have the Roman influence. The Romans, influenced by Greek sport, also engaged in various forms of athletic competitions, incorporating jumping elements. 5, evolution of techniques. Informal styles. Early jumping techniques were likely simple and informal, reflecting the practical needs of the time. Transition to formalized techniques. As societies progressed, jumping evolved from a basic instinct to more formalized techniques, setting the stage for the development of specific jumping disciplines. The early jumping history serves as a fascinating exploration of how fundamental human movements, driven by survival instincts, laid the groundwork for the structures and organized sports we now know. It also underscores the cultural, symbolic, and practical dimensions of jumping in diverse historical contexts. The first recorded high jump in Scotland. Time and setting. The 19th century. The first recorded high jump event occurred during the 19th century, an era characterized by the revival of interest in organized sports and athletic competitions. Scottish setting. Scotland, known for its rich history and cultural traditions, became the stage for these early high jump events. 2. Early informal practices. Informal nature. In its early stage, the high jump was likely an informal and unstructured activity, with individuals testing their abilities to clear a height using basic jumping techniques. We have local gatherings. It might have been part of local gatherings or community events where individuals showcase their athleticism. 3. Techniques used. Straight on approach and scissors technique. Early jumpers used primitive techniques such as an elaborate straight on approach or a scissors technique. Scissoring motion. In the scissors technique, the bar was approached diagonally, and then the jumper threw the inside leg and then the other over the bar in a scissoring motion. Evolution of techniques. Modernization initiatives. As interests in high jump grew, techniques underwent a process of modernization. Athletes sought more efficient methods to clear the bar. Introduction of new techniques. Techniques like the Eastern cutter and Western roll were introduced, each contributing to the evolution of high jump styles. Impact on the sport. Pioneering events. The first recorded high jump in Scotland served as a pioneering event that laid the groundwork for the formalization of high jump as a competitive sport. The catalyst for development. It sparked interest and curiosity, prompting athletes and organizers to explore and refine the rules and techniques of high jumping. Historical significance. Milestones in sport history. This event holds historical significance as it represents one of the earliest instances where high jump was documented and acknowledged. Foundation for future competitions. The enthusiasm generated by these early events in Scotland contributed to the establishment of more structured high jump competitions in subsequent years. The first recorded high jump in Scotland stands as a testament to the sport's humble beginnings and its eventual evolution into a highly technical and competitive discipline. It marked a crucial step in the fascinating journey of high jump through history. Evolution of techniques. Look at the scissors, the Eastern cutter, and the Western roll techniques. The evolution of high jump techniques is a captivating journey that showcases the ingenuity and athleticism of individuals seeking to clear increasingly higher bars. 3 key techniques that played significant roles in this evolution are the scissors, Eastern cutter, and Western roll. Number 1, the scissors technique. Sorry, let me add more of these fonts. The font is too tiny. The scissors technique. Introduction. The scissors technique was one of the earliest methods employed in high jump. The approach. Jumpers using the scissors technique would approach the bar diagonally the scissoring motion. The jumper will throw the inside leg over the bar first, followed by the other leg, creating a scissoring motion. The limitations for these scissoring techniques, while innovative for its time, the scissors technique had limitations in terms of efficiency and height clearance. Number 2, the Eastern cutoff. Innovation by M.F. Sweeney. The Eastern cutoff technique introduced by M.F. Sweeney marked a significant step in the evolution of high jump. Modified approach, similar to the scissors technique, but modifications for increased efficiency. The flattening out. The jumper extended the back and flattened out over the bar during takeoff, achieving a more economical clearance. Record breakthrough. M.F. Sweeney's Eastern cutoff contributed to raising the world record to 6 feet, 5.625 inches, that is 1.97 meters, in 1895. The Western roll. A development by M.F. Horain. The Western roll technique developed by M.F. Horain represented another leap forward in high jump evolution. The diagonal approach. Similar to the scissor and Eastern cutoff, the bar was approached diagonally. The inner leg takeoff. The inner leg was used for takeoff, while the outer leg was thrust up to lead the body sideways over the bar. Record progression. The Horain cutoff technique contributed to raising the world standard from 6 feet, 5.625 inches, that's 1.97 meters, to 6 feet, 7 inches, that is 2.0 meters, in 1912. These early techniques laid the groundwork for the eventual dominance of the straddle technique. However, there were transnational phases that marked the ongoing evolution of high jump styles. The scissors, Eastern cutoff, and Western roll techniques, while innovative in their time, eventually gave way to more advanced and efficient methods, particularly the Fosbury flow. The historical progression of these techniques showcases the continuous pursuit of improved performance and higher clearances in the thrilling sport of high jump. Highlight key milestones and record holders. The latest, 2023, which was recorded in Budapest, Hungary, in August 2023. We have the first one is for the men. You can see this table is showing the name of the athlete, the country where they came from, and their continent, and the height they cleared. The first one is Glamaco Tamberi. He's from Italy. He's from the European continent. The height he cleared was 2.36 meters. Followed by Joe Valjean Harrison from USA, from North American continent. He cleared 2.36 meters, which means the two of them, they tied in this position. What is the second person? The third person is Mutaz Essa Bashim. He's from Qatar, Asia. His own height that he cleared was 2.33 meters. Now, if you look at the table down, it's for the females. Number one is Yarosava Maochik. Is from Ukraine, from the European continent. She cleared 2.01 meters. Followed by Eliano Patterson from Australia, the Australian continent, who cleared 1.99 meters. And the third person is Nicola Olysiegas from Australia, 1.99 meters. You can see that If you look at both the male and the female table, Europe, the European continent are the one dominating high jump, while the other continents are just represented by one country. But you can see the first among the men, first among the women are all from Europe. This is a link if you want to see more of these techniques that I listed. You can follow this link on the YouTube. Major development in high jump. We're going to introduce the Fosbury and the Fosbury flop. The impact of the Fosbury flop on the high jump globally. The transitions from straddle technique to Fosbury flop, and then the notable achievement and records with Fosbury flop. That one will take it in our next lesson. So this is the history, the historical background of high jump. Before we go, I'd like to ask this few questions as a class activity. I want you to just mention 3 different types or techniques of high jump. Different class activity. Mention 3 types of high jump techniques you learned. Okay. English, the continent. Notable. Right. Okay. So let me just share the various techniques of in the images of various techniques that we have learned so far. Oh. I don't know whether I can see my can see. This is the scissors technique. You can see him. You can see the inner leg going up first with their left hand following. And as soon as that inner leg goes up, the other leg will now come in a scissors motion. Then we have the Eastern straddle, Western straddle. This is the straddle technique. You can see. This is the one that we are yet to discuss. The first breed flock. So these are the images. Thank you. Oh, we have come to the end of our class. Until next week, I want you to go and read Unit 2, and then when we come to the class, we'll discuss that one.